I've already done a video on that one, which was last year, and another time I may possibly go up that one over there, because I imagine there's some good views from there too. But I'm Tom O'Neill, a landscape photographer from the northwest of England. Subscribe and join me as I photograph epic mountainscapes, serene lakes, majestic seascapes, and magnificent waterfalls. This is Solo Photo Ventures. So I'm back in the beautiful country of Wales, and I'm back here on the Conwy mountain range. Now, the last couple of mountains I've actually been up, so one you see directly behind me, but the last time I was here in July, it's those ones over there that you can see behind me now. You can see the little tree in the distance I was heading to in the little bit of video I put up before. And that way, that one over there is where that Castle Caersion is. Now, during the summer when I was here, I did say I was going to come up at this mountain range here, which is on the opposite side, looking straight down towards Cape Lulo and over into the sea towards Anglesey. Now it is coming up to sunset. We're in October now. When I was last here, the heather was really beautiful and vibrant, and the ferns were really lush green. Well, now the heather's dying off. There's only a few little bits here and there where you can still see it. More importantly, that there is those lush green ferns. They've turned the bronze colour that they turn this time of year. And what I'm hoping, when I get up this mountain, I'm hoping to get a nice view looking down the valley with some of those bronze colours with a nice bit of sunset. Now, we have just had a major storm. I think it was called a storm actually. That is playing havoc with both my sound and my ability to fly the drone. But, see if we can get some B-roll in, and we'll make our way up the hill. And I'll come back to you when we're there. See you in a moment. still see in the distance. I've got the little village of Cape Lula just below me. All in all, I think that'll make for a good shot, especially these bronze colours that we've got. Now, as the sun sets, it is going to highlight those bronze colours nicely. Now, as the sun sets, if there's time, I'm going to get a shot looking back at the mountain range kind of behind me over there. You can see, and maybe, if there is time, a shot looking that way as well. I'm going to make the most of this location, so I'm going to get my first shot set up. I'll talk you through my thinking. Okay, so I hope you can hear me because there is a lot of wind noise here, but I've got my first shot set up. Now, I'm not bothered about sunset for this one. I actually want the golden hour, which is pretty much what we're getting now. Although I am going to leave it about maybe another 10 minutes to actually shoot the shot. We're exactly 50 minutes away from sunset at the moment. If I just flip you around, show you on the back of the camera what I'm looking at. Okay, so that's kind of scene I'm looking at. I'm at 16mm. You can see my settings there at the bottom. As you can see, we've got some nice kind of dappled lighting. Some parts are in shadow, some parts are well lit. We've got all the dead heather here, and we've got the bracken in the distance as well. If I just lift you up there, you can see exactly what I'm looking at there. Now, that mountain over in the distance over here is getting lit up nicely by the golden hour lighting. So is these mountains in the distance, and that's exactly what I'm catching at the moment. That's the shot I want. I want that nicely, warmly lit up, and that way I've got the bronze colours of the bracken and the dead heather highlighted nicely, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Now, I'm using the heather as texture in the foreground, and I'm focus stacking the image to maintain the texture in all the dead heather and plant life we've got surrounding, and the rocks. I don't want any of it to blur out. I actually want it to be nice and sharp. Apologies for the sun behind me. If I turn that way, the wind noise is just going to wipe out whatever I say, which it probably is anyway, but that's the pleasures you get shooting on top of a mountain in the end of October. So I'm going to give it maybe another 10 minutes or so. I'm also going to see what other light I get on these mountains. If that shot works out the way I want it to, here it comes. Okay, so for this next shot, I'm actually looking over this way, towards sort of Carnarvon in that direction. So I'm looking towards Carnarvon. I've actually got my camera set up behind this rock here, and it's no real way of making it out, but that's just obscuring those white houses down there. The reason is those white houses don't really add anything to this shot. What I want from this shot is the texture of the bracken and the dead heather, and these rocks I've got in the foreground, and this lighting we've got on the mountains, which is quite dappled at the moment because of clouds and because of this mountain over here. Now, the sun, from my camera's perspective, the sun is just peeking over the top of that peak there. I thought, beautiful golden hour plus starburst. So I've got my aperture set to f16 to create a nice starburst effect with that sun, and I've got 30th of a second so I can bring the shadows up and expose expose the image as well as I can for focus stacking. Now I am focus stacking that image. I'm taking 5 different shots, 3 for the rock, 2 for the rock, sorry, 1 for the foreground heather, and 2 for the background. So 1 in the middle distance here and 1 in the far distance. Now at f16, I'm probably not going to need all them, but I'd rather have them and not need them than end up getting home, finding out I don't have enough shots and having to come back. Now the sun as well, that is going to be a nice starburst, so I'm going to have to pick the best of the starburst shots and blend that in using Photoshop. I will subtly bring up the foreground so it's lit up, but it still looks like it's in shadow. I'm not really going to know what to do with the editing until I actually get back to the computer, but I've got an idea in mind of what I want from the shot. It's just a case of whether I actually make it look that way when I get back and when I edit them. Now, we're not long away from actual sunset. I'm actually considering the sort of shot that we've got behind me here. I'm perched on these rocks. If I just come down here, I'm not leaving the camera. I don't leave the camera perched precariously because there is a lot of wind and I can't afford to replace that again. In fact, I'll lay it down, I think. There we go. So, the shot I'm going for, I'll start back up here where I was before. I'm going to look kind of through the rocks, and my bag is in the way at the moment, I will move that. I'm going to look through the rocks, sort of using the rocks as a kind of a guide over into the image towards the mountain in the distance. And because it'll be a wide angle, I'll get all this nice autumn colouring and the on the mountain over there. That sunset's going to kick off and create some nice colour. We do have some nice clouds in the sky. As usual, my nemesis, the bank of cloud on the horizon. You may be aware that the shot I've just taken wasn't sunset, and indeed it is a bit overblown at the moment, but you can tell behind me golden hour is still happening. Got another 10 to 15 minutes of this before sunset. The sun is setting behind that mountain, which means the shot I want isn't going to happen. So what I'm doing, I'm making my way back down. I'm going to go to the other side of the road, or at the very least I'm going to see if there's a different composition on this mountain at the very least. If not, those rocks you can see in the distance that are lit up by the golden hour, I'm going to perch myself on those. One way or the other, I'm going to get a sunset shot, but I don't want too much silhouette in the image. I actually want a bit of light in it. Now, I've grossly underestimated the time of year I should come here. This probably would have been better maybe a month ago, but there will still be a shot to be had. I've just got to find it in 10 minutes. I've got an idea what I want. So it's still looking down the valley, and I still want to make a bit of a feature of all this bronze colour we've got. So wish me found what I'm hoping will be another better composition. I've got the that's the mountain I was looking at before. This over here, that's around there is where I was stood. So I'm still looking down the valley. As you can see, I've got Cape Lulo just there where all the white houses are. The mountain I was looking at in the first place. Still got all the texture from the heather and the fern, dead fern. And I've got the colour in the distance, which you can't really make out on the video because of the exposure, but what I'm also getting more of a glow around the mountain. Even though the sun's still setting behind it, I'm getting a lot more of the glow in the distance there, and a lot more glow on the side of the mountain, which I'll actually be able to work with later. That should make for a much more attractive image. And the only danger I've got now is that on the horizon there, as you bring down the exposure a bit, on the horizon there, as you can see, big massive bank of cloud, and you can see the nice glow on the side of the mountain there. Might be able to make something out of that. I have grossly underestimated where I need to be this time of year to get that sun coming up the valley. If I'd have come up here in July, the sun would have been too far that way, and it would have been there'd have been loads of shadows that you don't want. It wouldn't have been exactly what I want. I'm literally going to have to. I'd literally have to come up here at least once every week to try and get the image I want. But for now, this should suffice. Hopefully we should get some nice colour on that horizon. There are some clouds over there just coming over, and even if that cloud does obscure the light, that should still give me some reflected light up in the sky. I'm going to get my composition and my settings set up, and if I can make an image here, I'll pop it up now. It's highly unlikely that I won't be able to, but with the sunset, anything can happen. And with the last 24 hours we've had with the storms, well, here comes the image. Okay, so sadly I've had to make the decision to call it a day. I'll show you up here, the sun has basically done what I thought it'd do and get behind that cloud. Worse than that, there's a bit of mist coming in, so it's kind of ruined the shot, but I did manage to get some good shots anyway, so I'm pretty happy with what I've got. There's still a lot more of this mountain range to explore, so I'm going to have to come up here again sometime. Hopefully you did enjoy this video anyway. If you did, like it, give it a thumbs up, and hopefully you'll tune into the next one. In the meantime, I'm going to go home, get a nice hot cup of coffee, and warm up a bit. See you in the next one. Bye for now.